Hello. Elimination. Basically, I've already got a truck up here behind me, the Peterbilt Optimus Prime's truck form. I thought, well, hey, let's add another truck to compare it to, a different model, a Freightliner model. So yeah, that's what very simple logic I used to start with this one. But I look forward to it. I seriously doubt it's going to be quite the same size, but the metal will probably be better quality. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to this build. And on the back here, on the little meter, we're somewhere in the orange, so a little bit more than medium, almost hard, but not quite. Well, that doesn't scare me, at least not yet, not till I get to the hard part. Let's open this up, see what's inside, and put it together. The long nose truck. Freightliner. What do we have inside? 2 sheets of metal and 2 pieces of paper with instructions. I'll start with the one that says Metal Earth and just briefly talk about the instructions. If we open this up all the way on the front, starting with page 1, I'll zoom out just a little bit. On the front first page here, we have a line drawing of the completed model. We have the 360 view with a QR code you can scan, or just go to this website if you need to see a 360 view of the completed model if you're having trouble with how something's shaped. That happens sometimes. We have a sample part here with a notation about insertion tabs, insertion holes, and fold lines. Insertion tabs go into insertion holes, and fold lines are pre-scored areas where things bend. We've got our legend here with E. You see an E in a little bubble. That's pointing at an engraved side. Annie's pointing at a non-engraved side or section. Sometimes it's the entire side, sometimes it's just a part or an area, so you know how to line a part up. The tension point, trying to get your attention, usually the way something's aligned. Sometimes there's wording to go with it. Blue circle and green triangle, these are always by connection points where the tabs are. The blue circle means to insert a tab and fold it over 90 degrees. Green triangles, insert and twist the tab 90 degrees. Some useful tools if you're building these models, and we'll talk about tools in a second. And then we have a drawing of the 2 sheets, and I'll just grab one. Which one did I grab? Looks like I grabbed this one. Has a outline of all the parts with all the numbers so you can find the parts, and you'll notice that some of the parts are colored in. The ones that are colored in the same colors are duplicate parts, so like 56 is numbered here. All of these the same color are 56. They just label one. The rest of them you find by the color. I like the way they do this. It makes it faster and easier to find parts, especially duplicate parts. Slide over to page 2 and you start with the assembly flowchart with part 1. Shape that, shape it some more, and then you shape and add on part 2 here, part 3 here, and then you end up with that. And that's basically how this works. You just follow the arrows shaping all the parts and building the model. So you get to the bottom, it's on to page 3, go through that, on to page 4, and then once you're finished with page 4, it's on to the next piece of paper on the inside, to page 5, to page 6, over to page 7, and then 8, and once you're done, you're finished with your model. Let's take a moment to talk about tools. This is a very basic set of tools that I use in pretty much every build. I've got a very standard set of tweezers that I use very frequently. I've got some precision tweezers, another flat set here, and a couple of pointed tweezers, one of which I've ground the tip down just a bit to make it a little flatter for grabbing tabs. I have clippers that I use to get the parts off of the sheets quickly and easily. It's better than bending and trying to break them off. And then a couple of different pliers, a flat nose set and a long needle nose pliers set. They come in handy for bending in different situations. When it comes to shaping rounded parts, there are many options. I used dowel rods for a long time. I sharpened the ends of 2 of them with a pencil sharpener. These 2 are great for making cone shapes. Another option is a cheap drill bit set.
The set has quite a few different sizes to choose from. Another option is a set of step mandrels. I have a sculpting set here that I occasionally use, and they have all kinds of different shaped ends on them. Some flat, some angled, some spoon. There's a couple of hooks. They're useful for reaching in and bending and pushing and pulling tabs and shaping parts from the inside. I don't use these very often, but they sometimes come in quite handy. They're angled needle nose pliers, and I typically use them for one of two reasons. Either getting into a strange shaped area to twist a tab because of the angle. More frequently though, I use them to fold over flaps along bases or side of parts that are too long for the flat nose pliers, but needle nose pliers can't get to them safely without bending or warping something else. These will grab a longer area and bend it over.
We talked about some tools, looked at the directions real quick. I've got some basic tools to get me started. My sheet's at the ready. Let's put this together.
Right from the start, I find myself having trouble getting slots over tabs. I probably could have folded these tabs over for a neater look, but at the time, for whatever reason, that did not occur to me. The edges of the hood are a little curved, and I decided to make the curve by hand. It didn't go as well as I would have liked. If I were to build this again, I would use a drill bit or small dowel rod to give it a little curve. I did not try to curve the shape of the fender at first. I used where it connects to the light to help show me how much of a curve to make. As for part 10, the instructions seem to indicate which way to put the shorter end, but when I oriented the shorter end the way it said, things didn't line up. It worked better if I flipped it over. I used the drill tip of the drill bit to help shape the angled top portion of part 14. The tip of the drill bit is a little tapered and it worked fairly well, except that later when attaching part 15 it seemed like I needed to open up the top of 14 a bit so the tabs aligned. I am not sure if that is by design or if it is a design flaw. I was test fitting part 15 upside down so I could see how to adjust the tabs. I ended up test fitting more times than I showed here. I edited some of it out to keep the video moving along. I looked ahead in the directions and realized nothing goes on top of this part. It is the air cleaner, so I untwisted and bent over the tabs for a cleaner look. I was apparently having an unlucky day, and during this part of the build I have not had this problem before, but more than once the part slipped when shaping it and ended up pinching way out of shape. I spent a lot of time getting it back into shape. I realized after putting the second part together that I had put the first section on backwards. The tabs need to face the same direction as the bend in the lower pipe. It seems as if this part was almost too wide to curve up small enough for the tabs to line up properly. The center tab here is missing and I may have broken it off, but more likely it was accidentally folded inward. Oh well, there's still 2 tabs left. I twisted the tabs holding on the fender where I should have bent them over. They will get in the way later when you are attaching the body to the frame. It seems to me that the tabs on the sides are offset opposite of what they should be. Maybe that is by design and maybe it is more sturdy, but I find myself wondering. It would also be a great idea to twist at least the lower tab here to keep from running into problems later when attaching the front cab to the chassis. Attempt 1 could have gone better. I think attempt 2 turned out better. I just realized I put 25 on backwards. I initially misunderstood the directions here. I should have folded these tabs and not twisted them. For whatever reason, this part was really stiff and didn't want to bend. The twisted tabs that I had said earlier that I should have bent over are getting in the way. Oops, wrong side. Well, this build and video is taking longer than I expected, so keep an eye out for part 2 coming up very soon, where we'll pick up where we're leaving off here and continue finishing the Freightliner long nose truck build.